Hello and welcome back to the channel. So this week we are talking all about Carrollton, Texas. Carrollton is located in that northwestern area of Dallas. You are bordered by Coppell to the west, Plano and Addison to the east, the Colony to the north, and then Farmers Branch to the south. And as you can tell by this map here, in this northwestern region, you have a lot of major roadways, including the Dallas North Tollway, the Sam Rayburn Tollway, I-35, and then George Bush Turnpike. So you feel very connected and convenient to the rest of the Metroplex here in Carrollton. And it's no coincidence that Carrollton's slogan is where connections happen. And they mean this by family, friends, business, and of course transit like we just talked about. And speaking of transit, Carrollton is located just about 25 minutes to Dallas City Center, and you're about 15 minutes, give or take, to DFW International Airport. So again, just such a great central spot. So if you were exploring Carrollton, one of your first stops should definitely be the historic Carrollton Downtown Square. This square is an active retail area with shopping, dining, entertainment, and more, and it has a rich history that dates back to the early 1900s, aka where Carrollton all began. The grain silo is an iconic landmark here that was erected in 1950. It towers 110 feet over the downtown's little storefronts, which date to a time when the suburb was known as a dusty grain and gravel railroad depot. Today, the DART train has a stop that has helped rejuvenate this historic center, and also for a while they actually transformed the silo into a rock climbing center, which was really cool, but it looks like they shut down after COVID and have not reopened. But this historic downtown Carrollton area is so awesome. There's lots of little shops. It really reminds you of an old western town at its core, so it's a really cool place to visit. Another cool place that you can check out here is the Three Nations Brewing Beer Garden. They transformed an old grain shed that was built in 1950 into their local retail spot for local craft beer lovers. So if you are a craft beer lover, you will definitely have to go and hang out here on a Saturday because it's a great spot. About 2.5 miles north of downtown Carrollton is another spot that you absolutely have to check out, and it's called K-Town, or Koreatown in Carrollton. This is a really cool area, lots of ornate and unique shops, all Asian inspired, and this whole little strip mall that's just packed with cool places is anchored by the H Mart, which moved here, I want to say, in the early 2000s, and just this whole center has grown up ever since. So there's some really cool Asian stores here, and you'll just have to check it out. I'm actually going to link down an article below, and the author writes about some really cool stores that he visited, where he found some like K-pop albums and some really great restaurants in here. So I'm going to link that down below if you are interested in visiting K-Town in Carrollton. So a little fun fact about Carrollton is it actually spans 3 different counties. And because it spans 3 different counties, it has 3 different school districts. So you have Dallas ISD, Louisville ISD, as well as Carrollton Farmers Branch ISD. So depending on where you are in Carrollton, you will be zoned to one of these school districts. My go-to resource, you've heard it here before, is greatschools.org. So regardless of where you're moving in the DFW Metroplex, greatschools.org is a great resource for school ratings and different criteria and information about the schools here in the area. We're going to check the school ratings, make sure they're well, because this only helps your resale value. So school ratings are very important here in Texas. Now, as far as the housing market in Carrollton, the average price point in Carrollton is $375,000. Yes, that is right, and that is why this area is so popular, and there has been so much demand from buyers in the past couple years because it's in a great spot here, as well as it has an amazing average price point. So I want to run you through a couple different neighborhoods that you should know if you are moving to the Carrollton area. And before I get into these neighborhoods, I do want to say, if you are looking at Carrollton as a whole, the northern region of Carrollton is going to be a little bit more expensive, but you're going to have some like newer construction options. Not necessarily new construction, but newer construction, right? And in the lower region of Carrollton, you're gonna have some older properties, and these are gonna be some older neighborhoods. But let's get into some of these neighborhoods. The first one I wanna mention is called the Homestead community. This is kind of in the middle of Carrollton, I would say. Not too low, not too high, probably in that middle section of Carrollton, and it is one of my favorite communities. It is so stinking cute. Oh my gosh. So it's an older community from the early 2000s with front porches. The community has pools, parks, playgrounds. It's also known for being walkable to the Homestead Elementary School, which is practically on the campus of this little neighborhood. And I thought a really great example of this community is 1830 Auburn Drive in Carrollton. This home has been sold for $520,000, and I just think it's such a great example of what you can get in this community. Now, heading up into the north section, I've got two neighborhoods to mention. One of them is Austin Waters. Austin Waters is a part of the Austin Ranch development. It's a really big development, has a lot of different housing options, including townhomes, single family, as well as multifamily. So it's a really big development, but Austin Waters is the section I want to talk to you about right here. So it's a really popular community. It's got community pools, rolling hills, and landscaped lots. Another community up here in this northern region is called Castle Hills. Castle Hills is very popular. A lot of people know about Castle Hills. It is a gigantic master plan community with tons of different phases. So you've got older homes in this neighborhood and you've got new construction homes in this neighborhood. So you've got a wide array of things to choose from. And it's a little bit spread out within Carrollton, but it is one big community. And as I mentioned, as you move down and you get into the southern region of Carrollton, you're gonna see some of those older neighborhoods. One of those is called Nob Hill. Nob Hill is a really well-known neighborhood here in Carrollton. It's pretty big, but it's also known for the Nob Hill Greenbelt, which is a beautiful greenbelt that runs through this neighborhood. Some of the houses actually overlook this greenbelt. Those probably come with a little bit of a lot premium, little price increase on those. But it's a really beautiful neighborhood, and I've got one home example in here for you that I saw and was just like, wow. So 2810 Sausalito Drive, it was sold for $588, and I thought this home was absolutely stunning. And this is just an example of something more renovated that you can find in a neighborhood like this. And you know, I said that you will find some of these older homes in Carrollton. I'm seeing a lot of people come in and flip these properties. Now I will say, not all flipped properties are equal. Some flipped properties are done very, very well. Other flip properties are the saying, putting lipstick on a pig kind of thing, and we don't like those. We don't support that on this channel, but you can see some really nice flip jobs, some really great renovations going on in Carrollton because you do have so many of these older homes. And another good example of someone who's done this is 1833 Chamberlain Drive. This is just in one of the neighborhoods in Plano. The list price is $425. This was built in the 70s, so has that newer feel with older bones. This would be a great compromise for someone looking for something under $500,000 and want something new, but is not necessarily willing to go far out to buy newer construction. Because I'll tell you, if you want new construction under $500,000, we're going on the way, way, way outskirts of DFW. I think something like this would give you that new feeling. It does have the older bones, but it's in a really central spot. Another thing that you'll find a lot is townhome communities, and a lot of these are newer townhome communities, and I've got two examples to show you. I've shown a lot of these townhome communities to a lot of my first-time home buyers, and I absolutely love them. I think they're great. I think a townhome as a first purchase is so great, just because you don't have the maintenance that you would with a single family, because you are paying into an HOA. So your roof is covered, your foundation is covered, and you don't have a big backyard to maintain. So I love the idea of a townhome for some of my first-time buyers. I think it's a really great idea. But anyways, I've got two examples for you here. A lot of these townhomes in Carrollton are gonna be in, around, under $500,000. So again, such a great entry price point. So one example is 4687 Dozier Road, Unit 10 in Carrollton. This one's listed at $480,000. I think this is a really, really cute unit. I cannot get over that price point. And again, it just feels a little bit newer. So for someone who, again, is looking for that great location, wants something under 500K, I mean, this is it. Another example is 4121 Indian Run Drive in Carrollton. This is listed at $395,000, so even better of a price point. So I just think both of these are really great options for the first-time buyer, and I just had to mention them. You'll see a lot of these townhome communities in Carrollton, and if that's something you're interested in, I would definitely recommend checking out Carrollton, Texas. Well, that's all I have for you in this video. I hope you learned something. I hope you liked this video. I love making these for you guys. Let me know if there is a suburb that I have not covered and you want me to cover it. Otherwise, I will see you on the next video.